Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Brothers and sisters, welcome to Sunday Brunch. Thank you so very much for being with us, and Happy New Year to everyone. It's finally 2020, the end of a decade and the beginning of a whole new year full of new promises, new and bright horizons, inshallah ta'ala, for everyone. And inshallah, this year we're going to be moving towards becoming better people for a better society. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Sayyidina. Thank you so very much for being with us.
It's my pleasure to be here.
So 2020, finally, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well.
So I think New Year is basically sort of like a milestone, the whole concept for people to have something to look forward to, right? And it's full of promises and new beginnings, and the best promise I think we can make to ourselves and to the society and the world we live in is to become better people.
Absolutely.
Right? And it's really interesting. I was looking up, and there was like a statistics about the things people want to change about themselves the most.
Mm-hmm.
And like the first is like dieting and eating healthier, which is like in the 70s. And then it's eating less junk food. And then as we come down, it's like from the 60s to the 50s to the 30s, it's exercising, spending less, saving more, quitting smoking, and stuff like that. And you get like really, really down on the scale. And there's like being kind to your parents and spending quality time with your family and stuff like that. So I thought we'd talk about that.
The list that you just mentioned reflects the fact that people really do care about what happens on the outside. So obviously people know that, you know, it's not the most attractive thing to smell like cigarettes, you know? So people want to quit smoking, or obviously because of the fact that
it kills them gradually.
It does.
They want to be healthier
and,
people.
Destroys their health. But then, like you said, when you move down the list of, you know, less than 15% of people then want to be more charitable this year. And then even less than that would be taking care of your parents, and even less than that is spending time with family. And I think that, you know, those percentages should be switched around because I may be wrong, but when you spend time with your family, quality time that is, or you take care of your parents, you feel good. And once you do feel good, then you automatically will be at least mentally more healthy. And by quality time, I don't mean to be in close proximity with them.
Okay, not necessarily sitting in the same room in front of the TV.
It's really spending quality time with them, listening to them, caring for them, you know, taking care of them. One other thing that's in the list of New Year resolutions is being more charitable, giving more charity, but it's, like you said, very down in the list. And it's unfortunate because in this time of happiness, where people are happy and they're joyful, there are people who are very lonely. There are people who are suffering from depression and sadness and loneliness. And, you know, when you leave your house and you go out and you see everybody's happy, they're shopping and they're planning their travels, and basically you have no one. It's very, I mean, it's a dangerously depressing feeling that people can have. And that's why, unfortunately, they say a lot of suicides also take place in the happiest time of the year, which is the holiday season. You know, a lot of people today can't afford the basic things that make them happy. You know, a commute to their family, let's say, or they can't afford leaving work, or they basically have an ill person in their family they need to take care of, so they need to work harder. Or we have to be charitable with our time. You know, some people don't really need money, but they need our attention, company. You know, if you have a neighbor that's so old, nobody asks about them, you know, take them out for a lunch, a dinner, you know, be charitable. And it definitely makes you feel good about yourself.
But for whatever the reason, I think we've all experienced resolutions that we've made with ourselves and we failed at. So I was wondering if you could share with us a few steps, because like when you're in that holiday season, everything is so exciting. It's like the holy month of Ramadan, right? You're all spiritual, and then when you're out of it, you simmer down and everything's just normal. So what can we do to carry on with that spirit of change?
I think success lies with continuity, once you continue to do that. So I've thought of a couple of steps that would help us get to our goal. And one, obviously, would be to start with a goal, with an end goal in
Not
mind.
be so vague, right?
So how long is it going to take for me to achieve whatever my plan is to achieve? So start with an end in mind. And continue to engage that throughout the process. Staying there. You see, there's a beautiful verse in the Holy Quran, وَأَن لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى وَأَنَّ سَعْيَهُ سَوْفَ يُرَى. And in this ayah, Allah uses the word insan. He doesn't say Muslims or mu'mins or anyone else. So he says, God the Almighty says, human beings, once they strive, they will see the end results. Let's begin with an end in mind. Reading. We don't, you start reading a book a week and then you drop reading altogether. No, let's say, I want to read 12 books this year, and then, I spend 2 hours reading every day.
Right, so set a number, basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
With an end in mind, with a goal, with a clear objective. One other very important thing is also staying with that achievement, The Quran says, فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ. Once you actually finish a goal, get to a goal, go to another one, or continue to exercise.
So make it like a life process.
Exactly.
Right.
Third, I would say, is prioritizing those goals that we have. Like we said, there's a list. In that list, there is being charitable, being kind to parents, spending time with your family, and then, let's say, buying a new car or a new pet. So how do you prioritize? Do you prioritize buying a pet first or taking care of your ill parents, for example? You have $1,000. You can go buy a pet with that, or you can give it to, your cousin that's struggling to make car payments.
But I think people usually want to prioritize with things that they see immediate change in. Thus
Or the easiest
right.
ones.
So I think we need to spend a few more episodes talking about why it's so hard to set certain things that involve our emotions and our family as priorities. So now that I've got my priorities straight, inshallah ta'ala, for this year, what do I do so that it's like March and my list is just sitting there and collecting dust and I haven't gotten anything done? Let's avoid that. How do I do that?
I think we can avoid that by surrounding ourselves with good people. And I mean, good people could be people who are successful, who are, who wake up early, who exercise, who go to work, who take care of themselves and their families and those around them and think positively, and they have good energy, versus people who will put us down
and drain us.
We have a lot of traditions that tell us who we should spend time with. And one of them is a person who's loyal, like, for example, a person who's generous, a person who's brave. Scholars, you learn from them. But you don't want to spend time with people who are like Meisner and it rubs off, or people who are cowards and it rubs off, or people who are lazy and it rubs off.
Some of these are harder said than done, obviously. But inshallah ta'ala, as we move forward to bettering ourselves, with any great achievement requires a great amount of effort and time and, that constant attention. Thank you so much, Sayyidna, and thank you, brothers and sisters, for being with us. Join us again for another Sunday brunch, same time, same place. Until then, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.